with this illumination orientation, what we see at the heart of much of it is ego-centeredness. And so we see individuals and collectives of individuals that are self-focused, self-focused to the exclusion of other people, meaning their needs are paramount. They don't care about the needs of others, and stepping on other people in order to get their needs or their desires met is just a part of the process for them. And so there is this grandiosity, grandiose sense of self worth. Individuals who think extremely highly of themselves, at least on the surface, because there is a theory that suggests that all of this illumination, fascination, being the illuminated ones, being the chosen ones, being the angels falling from the sky, all of that, um, that is really tied to a low sense of self-worth that is hiding behind all of these grandiose manifestations, all of this shining, all of this celebrity, all of this magnificence. Okay. And so there is a theory that all of that grandiosity is really a false front, it is a facade. And when you look at the fascination that many people have with this illumination dynamic, um, you do see significant amounts of not feeling worthy and using this illumination fantasy or fixation to bring oneself to a space of acceptability or worthiness. Now, illumination often involves obsessions. And the obsessions that appear to go along with this desire for illumination include things like desiring to be the center of existence, not only one's own existence, but everyone's existence, that desire to shine, the desire to be the light in the world. And this is not necessarily a positive light that we are talking about. It's simply an individual or a collective of individuals, groups wanting to be the light in the world, wanting to be the entities that are seen, that are recognized, that are elevated. There is an apparent deification dynamic that goes along with this illumination obsession. And so you'll hear individuals or you'll see individuals associating themselves with divine identities. Now, in general, there's nothing wrong with that. However, what's coming along with this in these instances is a desire for other people to also deify the person. And so many individuals are wanting to be put on that sort of spiritual pedestal, not just for self, but they need other people to co sign on this. And it's noteworthy that there are certain collectives of people that will identify themselves as God, okay? Um, and without any additional clarity, it leaves a lot of questions, okay? Um, and so there is also a superiority desire. And this goes along with the deification desire that many people have. And so there's that desire to be better than other people, not just one's own personal best, but better than or besting someone else. And the self esteem, the sense of self worth is coming from this superiority, this belief in being better than or higher than or more than the next person. And it's always easy to find someone to be better than. You might want to read a poem called The Desiderata. It touches on that very topic. And so that's another one of the obsessions that people who are focused on illumination might be also dealing with. And so we have the obsession with the wanting to be the center of existence, the desire for shining, the desire to be everyone's light, the desire to be elevated to deity status, and a divine right to be there, by the way. And then just that general sense of wanting to be superior to someone else, as many people as possible. And so that's what we see when we are looking at a number of individuals who are associating themselves with this illumination dynamic. Now, of course, many of the people who have the illumination fantasies, we never meet them, but because this is such a global dynamic, we are all impacted by the illumination obsession. We are all living in this ecosystem together, wherein when individuals are manifesting these desires, other people are on the receiving end of the pathology that often goes along with all of this. And so, with pathology, we are not simply talking about a person who is doing the acting or the behavior having the pathology, but individuals actually creating pathology or suffering for other people. And I offer to you that the world is suffering and has been suffering as the world has been subject to many entities that have the illumination obsessions. There's something else very specific that stands out related to the illumination fascination that many people have. This flame fascination, wanting to be the flame. Um, it relates to the dynamic of contrast. It has been noted that many individuals throughout time, historically, um, even though they have been focused on or presenting self as illuminated, elevated, they are the light, they are the flame, they are surrounded by darkness. They create darkness, they create situations of darkness. And one of the reasons this might be taking place is in order to be the flame and to be seen, darkness is required. And so individuals who want to be illuminated, they want to be the illuminated one, they want to be the light. Essentially, light is seen best in an environment of darkness. Now, we have been heading in the direction of addressing narcissism and the illuminated for a long time now. One of the reasons why it has taken so long to get here is because it is one of my least favorite topics to address. It's one of my least favorite topics to consider, but it's a very important topic. And in fact, we have been talking about these dynamics of both individual and collective narcissism with most of the topics that we have been addressing in terms of history, in terms of theology. We have seen multiple manifestations of narcissism, pathological narcissism, psychopathy. We've seen quite a bit of that. But the way that we're going to approach it now, hopefully, we'll be able to pull a number of things together so that some of the dynamics that we've been talking about. Hopefully, some of them will make a little bit more sense once we start to directly address the issue of narcissism. Now, one of the things that I have noticed with respect to this illuminated dynamic is that the illuminated appear sort of like a race of people. They are dispersed and in some instances collective, but there is this sense of a race of sorts, a tribe or a clan. And it's not completely physical in terms of family members being members of the illuminated race. Some of the dynamics related to this illuminated situation, many of these things are spiritual. So there is a spiritual foundation, spiritual underpinnings, and spiritual manifestations. And there are also intrapsychic dynamics, and there is significant interplay between the spirit and the psyche. And individuals apparently come to belong to the illuminated race based upon a shared spirit, collective sort of spirit power, shared psyche, a way of viewing the world and a way of viewing the self. And absent being, physically connected, genetically connected, these individuals share a culture, if you will, regardless of where they are. Um, there's a tendency for there to be norms and mores and values that are tied to this entire illuminated construct.